This is the Fujica GL690, a medium format rangefinder camera that was released in 1974. In this video, I want to give a brief overview and talk about some of the pros and cons of this system. It's definitely not the perfect camera for everybody, but I've really enjoyed using it so far. So first I'll cover some of the features of the camera. It's very simple and straightforward. There's only one knob on the top that switches from 120 to 220 film. You can change the shutter speed and the aperture on the lens of the camera. There's two shutter buttons, one on the top of the camera, one on the body near the lens. This shutter button near the lens makes it a lot easier to shoot in portrait orientation. The light shield, which can be accessed on the bottom of the camera, there's a button here to release it. What the light shield does is it allows you to change your lens mid-roll if you need to. I like to keep the light shield closed when I'm changing rolls of film because it keeps the dust and dirt out of the lens. I have the 100mm 3.5 lens. It's very sharp and it renders images super nicely. There's also a 150mm lens and a 65mm lens for this system. One nice thing about these lenses is they use a leaf shutter system. The leaf shutter allows you to get sharper images at slower shutter speeds. The viewfinder on this camera is really clear and the rangefinder patch is very easy to see and focus with. So there's frame lines in the viewfinder for the 100mm lens as well as the 150mm lens. So that's it for the features. It's a very simple camera, it's fully mechanical and it's pretty easy to use. This camera was about $450, so some of the newer GW cameras, depending on the condition, can go for twice the cost of this. One of the biggest benefits for these older models is they have interchangeable lens systems. So I really like the look of this older body. It's more of an all metal outer shell versus some newer editions that have more of a plastic feel on the outside, and they use fixed lenses. I wanted to pick up one of these cameras because I was tired of carrying around my Mamiya RB67. It's a very large camera in comparison to this, which is a little bit smaller and easier to travel with. And being able to take the lens off is really handy when I need to fit it into smaller bags. This camera is fully mechanical, it has no electronic parts, and it doesn't require a battery to shoot. So being a 6x9 camera makes this a great candidate for taking panoramic photos and adapting 35mm film. I made a video on how I did this and I'll leave a link down below so you can check it out if you're interested, but I've had some really good results with it so far, and it's sort of a dual purpose camera now that I can do that and shoot 6x9. So the biggest downside is that this camera only shoots 8 shots per roll on medium format film. This camera does not have a light meter. So the ergonomics on this camera aren't very good. There's no grip on the side, but if you use a camera strap, it should be no worries. The minimum focus distance is about 3 feet or 1 meter. So if you're someone trying to take close-up portraits, this may not be the best system for you. I think this camera would work best for the photographer that doesn't mind slowing down and being a little bit more selective. For the price point, I think it offers a really great value for being a medium format rangefinder camera. And the fact that it shoots 6x9 negatives in a relatively compact setup is very cool. If you like to make large prints, you'll definitely appreciate this camera. Now, if you're strictly a portrait photographer, you might want to go with a different system that will allow you to focus a little bit closer. It's not an everyday camera for me by any means, but it's nice to take on trips and I'm really happy with the results so far. And if you have any questions about it, please let me know down in the comments and I'll be happy to help. I'm brand new on YouTube, so if you like this video, please leave me a like or a comment down below. Also, consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.